Hi everyone, it's the end of a very warm day and it's Friday night, hence the elderflower champagne. And I'm about to sow some seeds and I thought I'd show you what I'm sowing right now. We have a bit of a selection. These are all seeds that I tend to sow in a seed tray instead of a module because I like to prick them out into individual modules when they are big enough. So today I'm sowing chicory. This is chicory. And I'm sowing a few kales. And this is cavallonero, Sutherland kale, red Russian kale, asparagus kale. It might be a few too many. And then I've got some more Swede that I need to sow. And then a brassica called broccoli, which is apparently a cross between standard and Chinese broccoli. So I think it is just a green sprouting broccoli. And I'm also sowing purple sprouting broccoli and just a normal calabrese or broccoli. So a lot of these are for cropping next spring, so it takes some perseverance to get them where you want them to be. I like sowing them now because if you sow them earlier, which the packets recommend quite often, you end up having to nurture them through the hot summer months when they are getting to the point where they could go to flower, and also there's a lot of pests about, so you want them to hit a stage where you plant them out when there's optimum conditions for their growing. So for where I am, it's a good time to sow these now. And yeah, I thought I'd just let you watch. So first you kind of want to roughly know how many packets you have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need to fit 9 rows in here. Should be okay. 5 starting from one side and 4 starting from the other. I'm just having a drink, sorry. So I kind of just use a dibber to mark it up. So we said 5, didn't we, one side? So I just make a little mark like this, and then we need 2 more here. So I don't go all the way across. And then one here, and one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then we want 4 on this side. Yeah, so this is just general compost mixed with vermiculite, and that is to improve the drainage. So seeds or compost for seeds is usually it's just a more, it's a less rich compost. So when you're planting up a big plant, they want a lot of nutrients, while seeds don't need that. They it could be detrimental if anything. So that's you just kind of weakening a bit by putting bulk matter in, and that also improves the drainage. So we'll start with the broccoli. So I'm harvesting some of these now, and they're excellent, I must say. This is Marathon F1, so it's a hybrid and it's very reliable. I find that the plants all look the same, which is quite interesting, but it means that the seeds are quite expensive and you don't get that many. With brassicas, I find that they all tend to germinate, which is quite funny. So if they are quite big plants, so if you don't want to waste seed, don't sow too many. If they are old, I would say maybe sow a few more, just because germination rate might be less. And there's nothing worse than not having enough germinating, I think. Always label as you go along, so you don't forget what's what. Can you believe it's already the end of June? It's pretty crazy. So my toddler is starting back at nursery next week. And this is the purple sprouting broccoli. She had a settling back in session or whatever this morning, and she would not leave my side. It's a slight change as well because of the coronavirus. Their operations are different, so yeah, it's a bit of a change of personnel. Her key person isn't the same anymore. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but the plan is to take her in again on Monday, and we'll see how we go. I mean, it's usually the parent that suffers the most, but she's very good at showing how much she's suffering. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I hate it when the seeds like get stuck up in the corner and you just can't get them down. Ugh! Alright, we're gonna have to tear it. So these are what I think are green sprouting broccoli, and only found 2 seeds so far. This is also an F1 hybrid, but you should get more than 2 seeds, surely. Right, let's put these in before I lose them. They're definitely in there. Oh, there's a few more. Wow, these are rare by the looks of it. Well, there's a few more in there in case these all fail for one reason or another. So that is broccoli Apollo F1. Right, and then some Swede. So I already have sown Swede earlier in the year, so this will be follow on. We'll see, these might be ready sooner than the other brassicas. We'll see. I'm not too sure about Swede. I haven't grown it before, but the plants are looking very healthy. Oh wow, just almost got attacked by a blackbird there. It is evening time, so they are all about. He was chasing a moth of some sort. Oh, don't forget to label. So that was the Swede. I am also a Swede. Not the same kind of Swede. But yes, so I think it definitely affected her today, because she took forever going to sleep tonight. Or I guess it could just be your general toddler behavior. I think one of my kale seeds went into the Swede. Oh well. So this is asparagus kale. Let's read the blurb. It's a hardy grey-green kale that has been selected for its profusion of tender shoots in spring. Alright. Don't know why. I'm assuming it tastes a bit like asparagus. Well, who knows? Alright. Asparagus kale. We have the red kale. So I think, if I remember correctly, this is like one of them really frilly ones. So first year I grew the frilly one, we had a really bad case of whitefly, and it was just a nightmare, like washing it off to use. So and we used a lot of them for this like I guess kale pesto recipe, and so we just went in the blender. Well, they were blanched and then went in the blender, and yeah, I guess we ate a lot of extra protein. But they did crop a lot, so we had a lot of kale, but just the idea of it is just not that nice. So this is Sutherland kale, and apparently it's now extinct except for their seed bank. Well, we'll see. And yeah, it was apparently grown by crofters in Sutherland. That's always nice. Heritage varieties are not always better. They can be more disease prone and more variable in, you know, they don't come true as the new hybrids do. But I'm willing to give it a go. I mean, kale is a pretty easy thing to grow as long as you protect it from the right things. So I'm going to grow these under a mesh to start with, against cabbage white butterfly larvae. And when they get too big for that, because I only have it a certain width, they're going to go under a brassica cage made with scaffold netting. So it'll be later in the year, and be maybe less butterflies about. But mainly it'll also help protect over the winter months against pigeons, which is the worst, and other things that wander on the plot. We have deer, muntjacs, pheasants, and I think just a plethora of birds just have a go at our crops. It's quite quite rural, our place here, I guess. And yeah, I guess that's unusual for our allotments, but a lot of the villages around Oxford carry allotments, which is quite nice. It's not something I'm used to in Sweden, because allotments are usually just for the city dwellers who don't have gardens. Everyone out here has a garden, so I don't know if they served the city as well. Or maybe it was like a tax break or something for the landlord or whatever back in the day, so they just went ahead for that reason. You never know. They've never really seemed that interested in the plots. Let's see. Apparently they used to be much bigger as well. Alright, so this is the chicory, and I'm gonna leave that to overwinter, hopefully, and make nice chicory hearts. Maybe I'll pick a few as well as the leaves, but we'll see. They're quite bitter, so I'm not too keen on bitter lettuce, but I'm coming around to it. I guess that's because I'm growing it myself. And so that was chicory. And that's it. So now I just have to cover these up. So I thought maybe I would do it this way, but maybe it'll just be easier doing this. Yeah. So they only want to be lightly covered, like the width of the seed is a general rule of thumb, and you should have good germination. So firm down, so make sure they're in contact with the compost, and then just need to water. And I know I mentioned this in every video, but I always water from underneath, because yeah, it just floods the whole thing, and especially if the compost is bone dry, it takes a while for it to absorb the moisture, and it's really been really dry today, so a lot of the moisture has gone out. But yeah, that's it. I hope I've inspired you to get some more sowing done. I know it's like middle of summer and we're in the beginning of the glut, but you have to sow now for future harvests, you know? Always keep on top of things as a gardener. But yes, happy Friday. I hope, well, you probably won't watch this on a Friday, but happy whatever day, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Happy gardening.